All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do great.
I'm ready.
I'm so excited.
I've never been so ready. Okay.
Period. This is the BS4 podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the BS4 podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa. And today I have a very special guest. She is a newly 30-year-old woman. She is a corporate girly. She is a woman of God. She is a creative. She is a hustler. She is so badass. And she is one of my dearest friends. And I'm so excited to introduce none other than Miss Jules. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the couch, girly.
I'm so happy to be here.
How
and what
are you
an
feeling?
intro.
Is there anything you would
great.
add to the intro?
No, that was more than enough.
I feel like I missed something.
No, that was so good. That was way more than enough.
Okay, I love it. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
I
for having
appreciate
me.
you. I'm so excited for people to hear about your journey because you just have the coolest story. You're so inspiring to me. Literally, I love Jules, y'all. Like, one fellow dark hair girly on the couch. So if you are listening, make sure you go watch on YouTube so you can see my girl. But two, if you are listening, watching, wherever you are, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all the things. And then make sure that you actually follow Jules. We're going to put her @ name right here. That way you can follow her. What's your @?
Jules.Kemp.
Period. Today, the B is for boss business women because that is exactly what we are. Jules and I got initially connected because one of my friends, Jada's been on the podcast. Go watch like episode 2 or 3, I believe. We're like way further along in episodes now, but she first introduced us because she was like, oh my gosh, I feel like you two would have so much in common. You're both corporate girlies. You both are like have cute little side hustles. You both are creatives. And I'm so glad that she introduced us because I feel like from the moment we met, we just like hit it off immediately, which doesn't surprise me because I feel like you hit it off with everyone immediately.
I know, but you're very special. I was like, she is somebody who I can see myself being friends with. She is so cool. And I remember like, I want to pursue her as a friend, literally. And did.
And immediately we were like, okay, we're going to do a weekend in Vegas and just like that. And now we back.
I mean, you're so easy to get along with and you're so easy to talk to. Like it was so easy.
Oh my God. Well, same with you. Literally, you are actually, literally everybody loves Jules. I don't know a single person who doesn't love Jules. And Jules also knows everyone. Like you'll bring somebody up and she'll be like, oh yeah, that's my friend from so-and-so or from here or from there. And it's like, I'm like, Jules, literally, how do you know everybody? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I've lived so many lives.
You have.
I get along with people. I connect with people. I could connect with literally anyone on something in some capacity. And yeah, I take a lot of pride in being able to do that too. Because I feel like, you can bring me in any space and I can find a friend and we'll find a friend.
I know that's right. And she does every time. She could be friends with a wall.
Yeah, like, literally.
Yeah.
If they will listen to me, I'll be their friend. Yeah.
I know that's right. Okay. So speaking of you having so many lives, I want you to give us your background, your story. Like you literally have such a successful career now. I think you have so many people's dream job, if you will. But I feel like your journey has been a long time coming. Like you have worked in so many different spaces. You've done a lot of things by trial, error. You've moved. So Jules is originally from North Carolina. She's now living in LA and lived in Atlanta in between then. Yeah. So give us like the background. Like where did your career start and kind of walk us through your journey from starting point to where you are today.
Yeah, so I am born and raised in North Carolina from a very small town called Kernersville. It's super small town. I ended up going to a JUCO my first year of college, and then I went to NC State, stayed in North Carolina, and then when I graduated, I went to Atlanta, where I started my career in marketing. I was always going to be in marketing in some capacity. It's in my family, like my dad and my grandfather owned an advertising agency agencies. So like, it's just kind of in my blood. And I knew that I didn't want to follow in their footsteps, but I also was like, I'm good at this. It comes very natural. I could probably market a piece of paper. Like
For
I can,
sure.
yeah, I'm like, I can figure it out. And so I knew that was going to be the path. I just didn't know in what capacity that was going to look like. So I moved to Atlanta, and my first role was with Warner Media, which is formerly Turner, Turner Broadcasting. You probably saw the campus; it's huge
Yeah.
in Atlanta. So that was like my first real job out of school, walking those hallways, and yeah, it led me down a path of. I've been in consulting in a marketing capacity for Deloitte and BCG. Now I'm at Adobe, so I'm in more of a tech capacity. I'm in product marketing for creators, which is really fun and
So
new.
cool.
Yeah, and it's just been a really good journey of learning and figuring out what my like thing is. And I know that I've always been like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I say that often. I heard somebody quote on Love Island recently too, and I was like, I say that too.
Yeah,
Um,
I also say that about
yeah.
myself, so I feel
Like
you.
I was like, ooh, Pepe, yep.
Yeah, Pepe,
I was
come
like,
through,
same,
Pepe.
same. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just glad that I've kind of landed in a place where I'm very happy and satisfied in my career, and I feel like I've done a lot, and I kind of have now rested a little bit because I'm like,
Yeah,
I've done it. So
yeah, I love that. So when you graduated, why did you decide to go to Atlanta? Because of the career opportunity there?
yeah, it was the
And then same
only
thing?
yeah only job offer I had out of school. I mean, it was a good one too. I was excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the only one I had applied everywhere. So I finally got like a call back. It was on my graduation day, actually. I remember I graduated, walked the little thing, went to lunch with my family, and I got a call when I was at lunch that I had gotten the job, and I was like, thank you, because I was thought I was gonna be the only one that didn't have a job out of college,
Yeah.
which is not true anymore. But
No, for sure.
yeah.
You've had a really successful career so far. I think a lot of women who listen to this maybe either didn't go to university or they did, but they don't know what they want to do next. Or a lot of people haven't even left their hometown. So, was it scary for you deciding, like, okay, I'm going to pursue something that is totally new to me and leave a very small town in North Carolina to go to the biggest city in the South in
Mhm.
Atlanta? Like, how was that decision making process for you? Was it hard? Do you feel like you were nervous, scared?
Yes, but I also like even as a child, I was just always so curious, and I was such a big imagination, and I was like a dreamer as a child. So
Mm-hmm.
I always knew I was going to leave and explore the world in some capacity, but I wasn't sure where I was gonna go, and I was open. Like I would have gone anywhere out of school, and it just happened to be like I feel like God places you in certain places, and that was where He landed me in my first move out of college. But 100% I was leaving regardless, and I was gonna make it happen. Like I told my parents, I was like, even if I don't have a job, like I'm moving somewhere, I'll get like a waitress job or a nanny job like I'd had in college, and then I'll go from there. But I will be going somewhere and figuring it out.
I love that. I love that. I feel like I'm the same way. I've always been someone who's like, I think I grew up moving. Like, I moved coast to coast when I was still living with my parents, and I just knew that I wasn't going to stay in one place forever, and have lived in 5 states now. And it's always been like a
Yeah,
pursuit of something. I
yeah,
don't know. It's been either career, self, but I've just always been in pursuit. And I feel like you were the same way.
yeah.
I feel like you're also really good about like pursuing what God calls you to do. So now you're in LA, which is like
Hmm.
vastly different than any other place that you've
Yeah.
lived, and I can attest to that because I also live there.
Hmm.
Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel like that was a big adjustment, especially leaving the South and going to the West Coast?
Yeah, it definitely was, but I I feel like I don't see anything as like permanent. So when I got the chance to move to LA, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I could have it could have been 2 months, it could have been 6 months, it could have been 2 years where I'm at now. But either way, I knew I was in. Like I just felt like there's nothing that's too permanent where I'm gonna be stuck wherever I'm at. If I didn't like it, I was gonna come back. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's always been my attitude on things where I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Let's see if
Yeah.
if that's where God wants me to go, I'm going, and we'll see when we get there. So it's been an adjustment. But I actually did an internship in my senior year of college in LA for it was like 4 or 5 months, and I loved it. And was like thriving out there. I was an intern for Revolve, the clothing company. And I was just like having a ball. I knew that I couldn't actually like afford to live out there at the time. And it
Mhm.
was so far from home and I didn't know anybody. But I kind of had the back of my mind, like, eventually I'm gonna get back there. So I think it was what, like 8 years later I did. So
Wow, I'm so proud of you. That's so dope. I'm like, every big brand or major company Jules has either worked for or worked with in some capacity. So it's really cool getting her perspective because not many people have seen all the ins and outs of these different organizations and these big corporate monsters in the way that you have.
yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of people get really intimidated because corporate just seems like a big world. It seems like a lot to tackle. It seems like you're just a number in like a really, really big space. And so, how do you feel like you've kind of found your place in your roles? Like, how do you feel like you've owned your career and stepped into creating a career for yourself and like a path for yourself?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to the whole like my attitude towards like moving around. It's same with my career where I've never like felt too anchored in one place. I've never been too loyal to one like company or job because I like you said it's a big world and you sometimes you can feel like a number. So I always went where I was wanted. I went where the opportunity was. I've always been very quick to kind of like, okay, there's an opportunity, they want me, they're willing to pay me, they're willing to like give me a role that I want, doing what I want to do, I'm going. And so I
Mhm.
just have always been very fluid in my career where I've never like held back too much. And I've been able to create that space to where now I have a little bit more reign on what exactly I want to be doing. There's some paths I've taken where jobs where I'm like, this is not it, but I'm glad I have it. Glad I have it on my resume now. Glad that I have those connections, but it's not what I want to be doing. And so now in my career, I'm like in a good space where I'm like, now I can kind of dictate what I'm doing and what I want to do. But it took a lot of just kind of moving with the flow and like being in some roles I didn't like, taking on some, yeah, jobs that I wasn't crazy about, but I was willing to say yes. So
How do you feel like you knew when to pivot?
I think you just get an itch, one. And also, I feel like most of my roles came, like new roles came from them coming to me. I didn't really, wasn't like job seeking in a lot of them. It was like the company had reached out to me or mostly through connections. Like it was, I had had a conversation with somebody at some point and said, hey, I'm interested in this type of role. I'm interested in being on your team or at your company. Just keep me in mind. And, a couple months later, I would get a call. And so it was always more of just like planting the seeds and communicating and making sure that I had connections and I was nourishing those connections. And then when the time came, they would usually come to me. I don't think I've ever gotten a job off of like just dry, like applying, like blind
Mm.
applying online. I've never even tried really because I'm like, it's that is intimidating.
For sure.
I'm
For
like,
sure. There's a saying, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I feel like you're the queen of networking and making connections. And I try and tell people, I'm like, imposter syndrome is real. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, everybody's figuring it out. And not
mm-hmm.
everyone has like the full skills before they step into a role or all the experience before they step into a role. Sometimes it's literally who you know and knowing that you have value to add, and regardless of whether that comes in experience, sometimes it just comes in character, and that is a really powerful thing to like keep in the back of your mind. And so I try and encourage especially women who are listening, like, you don't have to have everything figured out, you don't have to have all the answers, you don't have to be perfect on paper, your resume doesn't even need to be perfect. Like, make the connections with people and water those, and they will take you to places that are a lot further than what your degree will get you or what your resume
Right.
will get you. So, do you feel
Yeah.
like you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. And I was never a school person. I don't pull my transcripts up. Like I'm a person to where if I care about something, I'm all in. If I don't really care or I'm not interested, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna get my time of day. And that was the school thing was like there was classes where I'm like, I don't care. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it translates in school, but I just knew like I'm really good at this and I want to do this. And so
Mhm.
school was just never my thing. But when in the real world, I figured out what I was good at and I just needed somebody to give me a chance. I think that's at the end of the day, I was like, I just need somebody to give me a chance, let me learn from them. And I feel like that's something that we need to do better as women. And I try to do now that I'm further in my career is like open doors, give people chances, like let them learn from me, let them pick my brain and be a person that I wish I had at those stages of my life because I'm
For
like,
sure.
I'm here. I'm here to help. I'm here to give you like words of wisdom. I'm here to put your resume in. Like I'm here to, bet on you for a job like because I really feel like I needed that when I was a little bit earlier in my career.
For sure. I feel like you were so good about being intentional and thoughtful of other people. One of Jules's best friends made a book for her 30th birthday where like the closest people to her all picked a word to describe her. And the word that I picked was inclusive because you're always thinking about other people and how you can pull them into things. And so, like, even at Adobe, she like mentors young professionals to help them learn and grow and come into spaces that they may not typically either be in or get an opportunity to see. And I just think it's so powerful that like you are so willing to lean in and support others even when you're literally drowning in stuff. Like she works her ass off, y'all. Like this girl literally will
Yeah.
work like 12, 13, 14-hour days. Like she is nonstop all the time, but you still make time for people. And I think that's so important. I think too, it's really hard to stay motivated. It's really hard to stay in the game or feeling like or trying to kind of navigate like that burnout. How do you feel like you stay motivated when times feel slow or uncertain?
Yeah, I feel like early in my career I dealt with that a lot. I actually had like lost my job at one point in the company I was at. Went under. I was in an unemployment season and something that I like to tell people when they're in this like waiting season or they're like feel complacent in their job or they feel like, they are maybe even falling behind in a sense or like they don't know what they're going to do, like, that type of thing. I'm like the way that God works is that something he can snap his fingers and your whole life can change tomorrow.
Mhm.
And so it's like keeping that in the back of your mind where like, okay, you're struggling financially because you're not making enough and you're over here like, I just need enough to make rent this month. Where it's like God could snap his fingers and tomorrow, like you're making 3 times more than you get one call and you're making 3 times more than what you are making right now. So I think that for me, I always kept this like hope in my mind of like, okay, what can God do today? Like show me how good it can get. Let me just keep this hope because even though it feels very dry right now, it only takes a matter of seconds for your whole life to change. Like one call, one email. And so I think that's just like a motivation you have to think is like God doesn't need time to do something. Like God doesn't need 6 months to make something happen for you. It can be within seconds. So I think it's just like keeping that in mind that it doesn't like God doesn't work at the pace of humans.
For sure.
And yeah, so I think that's always what I always think through in those seasons where I'm like, what is happening? It's like, okay, breathe because something can change tomorrow. And it did. There's multiple times where I'm like, whoa, like that was quick. That was
For
fast.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like that's powerful. I think there's like always a balance of motivation and discipline. And I think you're just disciplined to your faith. Like you're disciplined in your belief system, in God, and what God can do for you. And trusting that it allows for miracles to happen. It allows for God to work. And I just love that you're always such like a glass half full type of person, even when shit's hard, even when it doesn't feel like things are going your way, even when all odds are stacked against you, you lose your job, you're in unemployment, like things can change on a dime. And so I love that you're just like so trusting in that because that's been the case for me too. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's been so many times where I'm like, I don't see how this will work.
Yeah.
Like I literally do not
Mm-hmm.
see how this will work. Like there was a point in time where I like had $13 and like 60 something cents in
Yeah.
my bank account and I was like I literally have rent due tomorrow and like I don't know how I'm going to make
Mm-hmm.
this happen. So everything always just ends up working out and it's just like trusting God that it will.
Yeah.
And I think that's like part motivation that like God will always come through for you, but it's also discipline in your faith.
Yeah. And it's fun too in the sense where like, especially when you've seen it happen before, it just fuels your faith for the next time. So it's like the
Mhm.
only reason I'm sitting here glass half full is not just like going off like blind. The only reason I'm acting like this because I've seen it happen. Like I have proof. Like I've seen it happen. I've been down to the very dime. I've been down to like
Mhm.
the wire and God has came through. So I'm like, how am I going to sit here and go through the same worry and doubt when I have literal proof that God has done it before. So I just
Literally.
like that is the motivation itself. It's like, this is fun. What else is he going to do? Let's see.
Yeah. I
Like,
love
let me
that.
see what else he got in store. Cause this is looking real bad right now.
I
Okay.
know that's
It's looking
right.
real bad, but hey, let's just see.
Let's just see. And it
Yeah.
always works out.
Yeah. And it's
I
always a
love
good
that.
story to tell.
Okay, so how do you feel like you balance your career, which is obviously a huge pinnacle cornerstone in your life, with your personal projects, your passions, your personal life? What does that balance look like for you?
So I would say I recently turned 30 this past month. I turned 30. And I think a lot of things have changed for me just in the last couple years where, this is a quote that I recently heard and it's really resonated with me. I cannot stop thinking about it. And it said, the more that I heal, the less ambitious I am. And you think of that and you're like, what? Like everybody wants to be ambitious. For me, at least, I've been ambitious my whole 20s and I've just been chasing and fighting and climbing and climbing and climbing. And it's a lot of it is because I had a chip on my shoulder. I had something to prove, whether that was to other people or myself. I had something to prove. And the way I was proving it was through proving it wrong. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to climb the ladder. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get this salary. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be able to do it on my own. I don't need you. I got it. Watch me do this. The more I've healed and the more I'm satisfied in my life that I've created, the less I've been like, I'm working all night. No, thank you. Like it's not anymore. Like it's just like I think my ambition has definitely like I'm operating from a healed space where I'm like, yeah, like I'm so satisfied in my life right now. I don't have anything to prove. I've proved it. I'm good. Like I've proved to myself. And maybe there's like I think that itch of like this unhealedness where I was like, okay, I have something to prove. Like I got to get to this space. I don't have that in me anymore. Back to your question, like I feel like my personal life and my hobbies and my wellness and the way I take care of myself and show up for myself, it's extremely balanced these days because I make time for it and I communicate. I communicate with my work. I communicate with my friends. Like, hey, taking a wellness day, taking some time for myself. Hey, I can't answer right now. I'm on a walk. Or like, hey, I'll get back to you on this. Like, you do a good job with that too. But I like the other day, I think I texted you something. You're like, hey, I'm at a wedding. I'll get back to you on this. I just communicate. But it's like, yeah, I'm not compromising anymore because I don't have anything to prove. I'm so content. Like I'm good.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
I've like, as your friend, like not even just for the sake of this conversation, but as your friend, like hearing you say that, it like, I feel it.
Yeah.
Like that feels so good. Like
Yeah.
your energy is like very real in that. And I love that you feel that way because wow, that's like actually profound.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's an article my friend had sent me and he had sent it to me and was like, check this out. Like he knew that it would resonate with me.
resonate.
Where it
That's a
was
good
like,
friend.
yeah, he was like, I knew it would resonate. Where it was like, yeah, the more healed I become, the less ambitious I am. And it's just not in a negative
Wow.
way. It's like, I'm not sitting here like I don't need I don't need the next thing like immediately. Like I'm
Yeah.
not sitting here fighting like all the time to make sure I would get into the next level. Like I'm okay. Like
Yeah.
I'm healed. I'm good. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. Like you
Wow.
know.
That's so powerful. I like that's given me new perspective because I'm sitting here thinking and I'm like, yeah, I still have a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I still do. Like and me hearing you say that I'm like, okay, well, I'll own the fact that like there's still things that I do have to prove. There's still things and whether that's my ego or whether I'm not fully healed yet, that's something that I need to like obviously look at and work on, but I also feel like that's a part of my journey
Yeah.
and I'll figure that out. But there's also other things that I don't feel like I need to prove myself anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like motivated to work on it because it's like, no, baby, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to prove myself. I don't, like, an example of this, which is like totally off topic, but will resonate with you is like, I'm not dating right now.
Yeah.
Because I literally don't have anything to prove. Like, I'm not worried about what a man thinks about me. I'm not worried about how I think about a man. Like, I am just good right now. And that all kind of circles back to like, I don't fully believe that there's 100% balance in life. Like, there will never be a season where everything is completely balanced.
Yeah.
I think that how you show up in that season will provide maybe a sense of balance in your mind, but like there will be slower times in your personal life and fast times in your career or vice versa. But I think it's like how you approach it and like your willingness to be like, okay, well, I don't need to prove myself.
Yeah.
Like in this season or in this way or in this aspect or facet of my life, which I think is so dope. Thank you for
Yeah.
that perspective.
Yeah.
That was
No.
so good.
And even what you just said, like something I live by often is that you can have everything, but you won't have everything at once.
I literally said that on a previous episode, and that is so
It's so true.
true. Like you
Yeah.
can have it all. You just won't have it all at the same
Yeah,
time.
because gosh, that would be overwhelming
So
to have it all at the same
overwhelming.
time. To be
Yeah.
at like the peak of your career, the peak of your
Girl.
finances, peak of your relationship, being a mom, like that just would be so overwhelming. So,
For
like to
sure.
have it all at one time, that does sound a little overwhelming, but I think that we get to these seasons where we have one of those things, we finally got there and we're so excited about it and we're yearning for the thing that's missing. It's like, why don't we just focus on the one thing we got right now? This is great. This is
know, that's
amazing.
right.
And the other one might come next season and this one might go. You know what I mean? So it's like,
For
yeah,
sure.
it's like really figuring out like what that thing is that you have and you're not going to have it all at once.
No, for
And do
sure.
we really want it all at once? Like
No.
that seems so overwhelming.
But that's not even realistic.
It's not realistic. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to do it all.
You wouldn't be able to do it all. Like your heart, your mind doesn't have the capacity for everything all at once.
Yeah.
And like when you have everything all at once, it leaves little room for appreciation in the individual things.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? And it's like I don't think that God designed life to be that way. Like there's ebbs and flows for a reason. Like there's certain seasons where you need to show and pour appreciation into certain facets of your life versus others.
Yeah.
Like there's times where dedicating more time to your family or dedicating more time to yourself or dedicating more time to your career is like what you're supposed to be doing in that season.
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more. And I just love that like thought or that idea of like, yeah, you can have it all.
Yeah.
You just can't have it all at once.
Yeah. Exactly.
So good.
Yeah.
That being said, what does success feel like to you now versus what did it feel like maybe in the past?
Yeah. When I was definitely in my early 20s, coming out of college, going into my career, I had this like clear vision of what success looked like for me. It was, I wanted my dream job. I wanted my dream salary. I wanted my own place. I wanted a car. I wanted a family of like a husband, kids. Like it was like very clear. I mean, it was your typical like I wanted the American dream, honestly. That was it. Like I wanted all of it. And as I've gotten, like through my 20s, it's changed so drastically because it's like now success is what brings me joy and what brings me peace. And am I proud of what I've created, the life I've created, the work I'm doing, the person that I am? Like, am I proud of that? And if I am, like, that is success to me. Like, I've done something right. So I think I look at my weeks and I'm like, were you stressed this week or did you take care of yourself? Did you have joy? Did you call your family? Did you spend time with your family? Family has become a big thing for me. Like, as later in my 20s, there's nothing that can replace like the joy that comes from me being around my family. When I was early in my 20s, I was just like, way off, like, yay, let's go, like, explore the world. Now I'm like, actually being a good auntie, sister, daughter, like, that actually is really important to me. That's like success for me. And good friends and mentor. And yeah, so I think that's like who I am. Am I proud of that person? That's success to me.
I love that. And I feel like that's so aligned. If you listen to episode 35, where it's like my career Q&A, someone asked me the same question of like, what does success look like to you? What did it once look like? And it was damn near the same answer.
Yeah.
Like damn near the same answer. I was like, yeah, it once was like being a successful businesswoman, making a lot of money, like being able to live the lifestyle that I want to live and give myself that lifestyle. And now it's like, am I proud of who I am? Am I a good friend, a good sister, a good daughter, a good auntie, a good godmother? So like, I love that you say that because I feel like that's maturing, that's healing, and realizing that there's so much more to life than just money or accolades or titles or careers. Like there's the small things are actually the biggest things.
Yeah.
And you're doing an amazing job, like being present, being a good friend, being a good auntie. single rich auntie. I know that's right.
Clock it.
I know that's right.
Clock it. My niece and nephew do need an uncle.
And do.
And do.
And do. So if you want to apply to be an eligible bachelor, hit my DMs first, send your resume. I will review them before I pass them along to my good sis. Okay?
And I trust that.
And
That's
you know
the best
what?
dating site I could ever.
You know what? It is a thorough screening process around here, baby. I will make sure that she is good because no shot that you can come for my girl.
I mean, I would trust that. You could pick one out for me and I would say, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I trust your thoughts on that. So
honestly, I trust yours too. Yeah. So I feel like maybe we should just do this for each other.
Like if you set me up on a date, I wouldn't even need a picture. I wouldn't need a background. I'll be like, I trust it. Like 100% I'm going. What time?
I would never steer you wrong.
Yeah. What time?
I would never put you on a date with somebody. So you know what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, same.
Yeah.
Same. Like I really don't think that you would put me on a date with anybody that I'd be like, no.
Absolutely not.
You know
I mean,
what?
I've had people inquire about you. Like I have a lot of guy friends, a ton of guy friends. I have had multiple
guy friends.
Yeah, like I got guy friends. And the reason why I've never put you on was they've inquired, but I'm like, you're not cutting it, babes. I know my girl. I know my girl. I know my girl. Like
that's right.
fix up, come back, fix up and come back.
Right.
But I know my girl. And
literally same. I will have people in my DMs like, who is this? Blah, blah, blah. And I just don't even respond because I'm just like, no.
I'm like, listen, fix up, come back.
Just no. Fix up, come back. I know that's right.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. We need to do a whole other episode on dating.
Yeah.
If y'all want to hear that, let us know. If you want to hear us talk about dating, because I feel like Jules and I live an adjacent dating life.
We do.
Like, or not, is adjacent the right word?
Yeah.
Like we live like a parallel dating life.
Mm-hmm.
Literally,
I
like
agree.
the type of men we've dated, the reasons why it hasn't worked,
the
way that we cut them off,
the way that we don't date normal. Like I feel like
literally,
you're like I'm in a season of not dating. I'm like same, like
literally same.
But yeah, I love that.
Okay, if y'all want to see an episode about dating from me and Jules, really getting into the real about dating, let us know. Comment below and let us know.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
It would be. Okay, so speaking of being a woman that you're proud of, when did you realize you would be a woman that you're proud of?
So this actually was a recent realization and it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was my 30th birthday. I think you mentioned it earlier, which, I don't know if I wasn't proud before this. It was just more so like this was the moment that I was like, wow, I feel like I am proud of who I've became. But my 30th birthday, my two best friends had organized 30 people to write me a letter, a prayer, and a word to describe me. And it was 30 of my closest friends and family and people that I love. And they put it in a book, like a table book, and gave it to me. And I was flipping through those pages and it was just like the words like outgoing, spontaneous, love, light, like inclusive, anointed, loyal, trustworthy. Like there was just like so many words where I'm like, it was almost like an identity crisis for me. I was like, whoa, like, and so that really sent me over the edge. I'm not gonna lie. That gift really sent me over the edge. It was a moment where I was like, I think I am the person that I wanted to be for these people, and it's showing. And that like I can see they appreciate and they see that, and I'm like, that's how I wanted to show up, and I'm glad that they feel that way too. And so that was a moment where I was like, I like who I've became. I like the person that they know. I like that the way that I want to show up for them is coming across. And it was just a moment where I was like, I think I'm the person that I wanted to be. So
that's so dope. And honestly, when Wesley reached out to me, Wesley's one of her best friends. When Wesley reached out to me and she was like, hey, I'm doing this, I think my initial response to her was like, oh my gosh, this is so thoughtful, but this is so aligned to Jules. I was like, there's nobody who deserves this level of intention more. I was like, what a perfect gift for you, because you're so thoughtful with all of your friends. You take care of everyone around you, that it was so beautiful to see you like get your flowers.
Yeah.
And you 100% should be proud of the woman that you are.
Yeah.
Like, I've shared this with you multiple times, but I haven't had a ton of women in my life up until recently inspire me. Like, I've always been kind of like a leader or like a person who goes
Mhm.
first. And I've been more intentional about surrounding myself with people who really like inspire me, who motivate me, who act in ways and speak in ways that I want to embody or resemble or that I'm okay with being around. And you are 100% one of those people. Like, you motivate me probably more than what you realize. So I
Oh.
just like think you should be so proud of yourself. And I also think that if there's someone who's listening to this who's like, I don't know if I'm proud of myself, I don't know if I'm who I want to be, I don't know if people see me, I don't know if I feel heard or feel valued, I don't know if I value myself. I feel like those are normal thoughts to have, and we've certainly had them, but sometimes you just have to like look up and look around and realize that if one person loves you, let alone 30 people, if one person loves you, if one person shows up for you, if one person makes time out of their day, you are loved, you are seen, you are valued, and it is okay to question that sometimes. But what you should be proud of is the fact that you're even sitting here listening, the fact that you're even pouring into yourself by making the decision to listen to this podcast. Proud that you woke up and got out of bed this morning. Proud that
Mhm.
you're showing up for yourself in every season of your life. Proud that you've gotten through everything you've gotten through thus far. Like, there's so many things to be proud of. And I think if you're putting on yourself, like, oh, I'll only be proud of myself when blank.
Yeah.
I'll only be proud
No.
of myself when I lose all this weight. I'll
Mm.
only be proud of myself when I become a mom. I'll only be proud of myself when I attain this thing in my career. I'll only be proud of myself if I retire my parents. I'll only, if you are just like constantly waiting on like the only, or like constantly waiting on the thing to happen, you're missing out on like all the beautiful things that you are right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like women especially need to know that there's so much to be proud of about who you are as it stands. But it's also really good to get reminders like that of like the people in your life see and receive you in the way that you want to be seen and received.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I posted a TikTok of that present and opening it and my reaction and whatnot. And I had a lot of comments saying like, I would kill to have something like this, like a gift to be given to me like this. I would kill to have like a book written basically about me. And I'm like, in my head, I was like, yeah, like that is an insane thing that I received. It comes down to being the friend that you want to have. So I'm like, all of those things that people were said about me, like so kind, but I'm like, I showed up that way because you were that way too. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is a mutual thing where I'm like, I showed up and was soft and nurturing towards you as a friend because you create that space too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and or somebody has created it for me at some capacity. So I'm like, I try to show up, and that's like the people that I attract around me. And so I'm like, yeah, I was very humbled by like, oh gosh, this is crazy. But it's also like these people, let me look at them. I literally wrote, these are the incredible people. And I'm just like, hope to only be half the friend that they have been to me, because like who does such a thoughtful gift? That's crazy.
Yeah, but you are.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't happen to you if you weren't doing it, you
Yeah.
know? So I just love that you received that. And I know that sometimes life can feel lonely and sometimes it feels like you aren't seen, but if you
Yeah.
show up for yourself and show up for others in the way that you want them to show up for you, like that energy will come back. So
Mhm.
that is a note for listeners, viewers, like, it takes you being the friend to yourself
Mhm.
first and then being the friend that you want to others in order for you to truly receive that as well. So,
Yeah.
and genuinely, not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm doing it because this is the type of like response that I want, or I'm doing it because I want people to be proud of me. It's like, no, do it because that's genuinely how you feel and like authentically how you want to show up.
Yeah. and be the friend that you need.
Yeah.
You know, like you
Yeah.
might be tired and your friend needs to call you to vent about something. And I could have tired a long work day, but I'm like, what if I needed somebody to talk to? Let me just hop on the phone call. It's not going to take that much out of me to do
Right.
this, you know? And I
100%.
also feel like on my birthday, I sometimes in the past, I've gotten really caught up in like whatever person I was dating at the time. Honestly, there was like, I was dating people past my birthday who I just feel like didn't show up in the way that I needed them to, in a sense. And this birthday, I was completely single, wasn't even remotely talking to anybody. And I think that I was kind of like, ugh, like, when will be my turn? Especially going to my 30th birthday, I was like, when is gonna be my turn where like my significant other puts on a big party for me or like takes me on vacation, like a big, like, you know, spending that birthday with significant other. And it was so humbling when I opened that book up and I was like, why could you, or how could you ever be focused on something that you don't have when you have so much right here? Like you have so many people willing to show up for you and
Yeah.
advocate for you and like make you feel so good and loved. And how could you ever focus on the one that didn't, or the one that, you know, you wish you had at the moment? Like I'm good in this season of
Yeah.
life. Like the dating aspect, I'm good. I'm so good on it because look at the abundance I have
For
in the
sure.
friend department, in the
For
family
sure.
department. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Especially, gosh, I mean, I don't even know how you're gonna be able to live up to this. Like at this point, like, you know, I'm covered and smothered. I'm
Yeah.
good. Like,
I
so
love
it was
that.
very humbling where I was like, not you sitting here thinking that you were gonna be in Greece on a vacation on your 30th, but actually you're sitting here with 30 people who wrote you
Love
letters.
you.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, well, stop worrying about that. Stop even thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
over my head. And as soon as that day, like my birthday passed, I was like so filled, like cup was full. I haven't thought about a man since.
No, I know. I look, been there.
I don't need it.
100% been there. And like, it's okay to want that.
Yeah.
It's okay to want like companionship and partnership. But to your point, it's like decentering it and realizing
Decenter, yeah.
like I am so abundant in so many other ways
My
that
cup
like
is full.
romantic love isn't like the end all be all. And
Yeah.
like I am so loved platonically and I'm okay with that. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got to experience that and feel that. And so that being said, because that can feel low, that can feel tough to desire or want something or like kind of just like feel hopeless at times. What's something that gave you hope in your lowest moments?
Yeah. So I hate to be like cliche, but I mean, it's not cliche because it's my truth
The
and
truth is the truth.
it's authentic and I'm authentically saying this. But I remember it was my junior year of college. It's probably one of the toughest times in my life. I had a really tragic loss and I was just, yeah, I was in a dark, dark, dark place. And I'll never forget someone telling me, they were like, if you believe in God, if you have a relationship with God, if you like have that faith, imagine yourself sitting in a pitch black room and there's a pinhole of light coming through. And it's like, that is God. The pinhole of light is God. So there was, in that time, and there's been many times after that where I feel like I'm sitting in a pitch black room and it's like, it's so low, it's so dark. And the only thing that really like gives me hope is this pinhole of light, and that is God. So like any situation, it's just like I have this pinhole of light. And so I always tell people like, keep your eyes fixed on the pinhole of light. Like if you are a believer, and if that's something that, yeah, if you're a believer, which I think is the hope that you need, in my opinion, like if you're sitting in that darkness, like there's a pinhole of light, find it, it's God, and that will guide you out of the darkness. But you got to keep your eyes fixed on the pinhole of light, because I truly can't imagine sitting in a room without that pinhole.
Okay, so to round it out, what advice would you give to the woman who wants to be successful in business or in life or both, but doesn't know where to start?
Well, practically, I would say just start.
Right.
Practical advice, I would say, like set goals for yourself that are obtainable. And I think that's like why we get so overwhelmed, because we set these massive goals. Like if you want to get in shape and go to the gym, you're like, okay, I'm going 6 times this week. Why don't you set it for 2? Like, you know, like let's set practical goals. So if, yeah, depending on what your goals are, but like set set like, oh, I want to do something for myself this week. I want to take care of my mental health and wellness, and set like 2 days of the week you're going to go for a walk. Or you want to network, you want to get a new job. Why don't you set a goal of, I'm going to reach out to 3 people who are in the industry that I want to work in and ask them for a coffee chat this week. So I would say, like, let's set goals that are obtainable and execute on them, and then you'll be very proud of yourself, and it will just move the needle. But definitely, I would say, like, your network and your connections will take you so far. You'll be very surprised at people are willing to pour into you. If they're not, who cares? There will be somebody who answers. Send 10 LinkedIn DMs, you'll get one back. You might only get one, but you'll get that one, and that one person is ready to help you. So I would say, just like, practically set some obtainable goals for the week and execute on them. Like, hold yourself accountable, and then be proud of yourself afterwards. Like, that's the best part.
For sure.
Like, and let yourself be proud. Don't be like, okay, next week, 6 days a week. No, let yourself be proud that you got those 3 days in, or those 3 LinkedIn messages in. Like, be proud of yourself. But the only way you're going to be able to create that space to be proud of yourself is if you actually set goals that don't feel so big and unattainable and like heavy to go into. Like, set them small and be proud of yourself afterwards.
I love that. Such good advice. I couldn't agree more. I think confidence is built from literal proof that you can do the things that you set out to do. And so it's hard to build confidence if you tell yourself, oh, I haven't been to the gym in 4 months, but I'm going to start going 7 days a week starting tomorrow.
Like, let yourself down so quick.
You're going to let yourself down so quick. So I love that. I think that's such good advice. I feel so inspired and so empowered by this conversation. I've loved every minute of talking with you. I feel like our regular conversations are like this, with maybe a little bit more silly goofy. So we're going to have a little silly goofy episode at some point. But thank you so much for being here. I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to have you. Thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for always just like giving me so much love and confidence and light. Like, you just are such an inspirational woman, and I'm so proud to call you a friend.
I'm so happy to be here, and
Thank you.
I love the platform that you built. And another thing that I would say that I think Bria does so good at is, you stay in your lane. Like, the lane that God gave you, that's your lane. And it's exciting to be there because everything that's meant to be yours is yours. And like, if you have a gift, like, that lane is yours. So stop like looking to the side and focus on your lane. And I think you do such a good job of that. You were called to do this podcast and have this platform. And I feel like you've just literally kept your eyes set on the path that's yours. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what God does for you, because
Thank you.
it's a bright future. It's exciting.
You. I appreciate
And it's
you
impactful.
so much.
What you're
Thank
doing is
you.
impactful. Like,
Thank
if
you.
one person listens and they got something from it, like, that is the testimony.
That's a win.
That's a win.
That is a win in my book. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you for providing perspective that I think a lot of women will also be able to be impacted by. And that's the whole purpose of this. So if you liked this conversation, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the things. It'll help me continue to do this. It'll help me continue to be able to have such dope conversations with women like Jules, maybe another conversation with Jules. So make sure that you do all the things. Make sure that you follow her, like I said, and we will see you next week.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.